I lied about my best friend at work, destroyed her career, and now I don't know if I can fix it. Hi, everyone. I don't even know how to start this. I guess I just want to get it off my chest, even if it makes me sound like a terrible person. I know what I did was wrong, but at the time it felt like the only choice I had. I'm Kara, 26, and I've been best friends with Zoe since we were 12. Zoe's the kind of person everyone loves. She's bubbly, hilarious, and always the first one to stand up for you if someone's giving you a hard time. She's my ride or die, the sister I never had, and we've been through everything together. But a few months ago, I did something I'm not sure she'll ever forgive me for. Zoe and I both work at the same company. It's a mid-sized marketing firm, and we've been lucky enough to stay close even as adults. She's a copywriter and I'm in client relations, so we don't work directly together. But we still grab lunch almost every day. A few months back, there was a big project coming up, a rebranding campaign for one of our biggest clients. It was the kind of opportunity that could make or break your career, and I wanted in on it. But I knew Zoe did too. Here's where things get messy. About 2 weeks before the project assignments were announced, I overheard some of my coworkers gossiping in the break room. They were talking about Zoe. Apparently, someone had seen her out late at a bar with one of the senior managers, a guy named Mark. Mark's married, by the way. At first, I laughed it off. Zoe isn't the kind of person to get involved in something shady like that. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized how bad it could look if people started taking the rumors seriously. And then, I made the worst decision of my life. I don't even know why I did it. Maybe I panicked, or maybe some ugly part of me saw an opportunity. But I ended up going to our boss and casually mentioning that I'd heard some rumors about Zoe and Mark. I framed it like I was just concerned, like I wanted to protect her from office gossip. It wasn't even true. Zoe and Mark weren't involved at all. But once I said it, I couldn't take it back. The next thing I knew, Zoe was pulled into a meeting with HR. She called me afterward, crying, saying she didn't understand what was going on. I told her I had no idea either, and I felt like the biggest piece of garbage on the planet. Things spiraled fast. Mark denied everything, of course, but Zoe got stuck with the fallout. People started whispering behind her back, treating her differently. And the worst part, she didn't get the project. I did. At first, I told myself it wasn't my fault. The rumors were already out there, right? I didn't start them. But I also knew that if I hadn't gone to our boss, none of this would have happened. Zoe started pulling away from me after that. She stopped inviting me to lunch, stopped texting me as much. I kept telling myself I'd come clean eventually, but every time I thought about it, I got scared. What if she hated me? What if she told everyone what I'd done? About 2 weeks ago, Zoe finally found out the truth. I don't even know how it happened. Maybe someone overheard me talking. Or maybe it was just karma coming back to bite me. But she confronted me in the parking lot after work, demanding to know if I'd been the one who started the rumor. I tried to deny it at first, but she wasn't buying it. So eventually I told her the truth. I said I was sorry, that I'd only done it because I was scared of losing out on the project. She just stared at me, like she couldn't believe what she was hearing, and then she said, "You didn't just ruin my career. Kara, you ruined us." She walked away and we haven't spoken since. I know I messed up. I know I hurt someone who didn't deserve it. And I don't know if I can ever make it right. I've been thinking about quitting my job, but I don't even know if that would fix anything. Part of me feels like I deserve all of this. The guilt, the shame, the loss of my best friend. The shame, the loss of my best friend. But another part of me wonders if there's any way to salvage what we had. So yeah, that's my confession. I know I'm the villain here, but I needed to tell someone. Have you ever done something you regretted so much you couldn't look at yourself in the mirror? Because that's where I am right now. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. I guess I just want to know, is there any way to fix this? Or should I just let Zoe go and live with the fact that I destroyed the best friendship I've ever had? Update. It's me again. First off, I didn't expect this post to blow up like it did. I've been reading through all the comments, and let me just say, thank you to everyone who shared their thoughts, even the ones calling me out. I deserved it. I've spent the last few days really reflecting on what I did and trying to figure out if there's anything I can do to make this right. A lot of you said I needed to own up to my actions in a real way, not just to Zoe, but to the company too. That terrified me, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized you were right. The first thing I did was schedule a meeting with HR. I was honest about everything, how I overheard rumors, how I let my own insecurities get the better of me, and how I went to our boss knowing it could hurt Zoe. It wasn't easy. I cried. A lot. And they were not happy with me, to put it mildly. They said they'd need to escalate the situation and look into disciplinary actions, but honestly, I didn't care. I told them I was ready to face the consequences. They thanked me for coming forward, but I could tell they were struggling to process the situation. It's not every day someone walks into HR and confesses to sabotaging their best friend. The harder part was Zoe. I've been trying to reach her since the day she found out, but she's been ignoring my texts and calls. I even showed up at her apartment once, but she didn't answer the door. So after the HR meeting, I wrote her a long email. I told her everything. The truth about the rumors, why I did it, and how much I regret it. I apologized for lying, for hurting her, for being selfish and insecure. I also told her that I'd gone to HR and explained everything. I admitted that I might lose my job over this, but I didn't care as long as she knew I was trying to make it right. I hit send and cried for an hour straight afterward. The next day, I got a reply. It wasn't long, just a couple of paragraphs. She said she appreciated the apology, but that it didn't change what happened. She said she couldn't trust me anymore, and she wasn't sure she ever would. She ended it with, "Maybe someday I'll be able to forgive you, but right now I need space. Please respect that." Reading that hurt more than anything I've ever experienced. But I get it. She has every right to feel that way. Since then, things at work have been tense, to say the least. HR ended up docking my pay and putting me on probation. I'm no longer eligible for promotions or bonuses for the next year, and honestly, I'm surprised they didn't fire me. Zoe, on the other hand, is being transferred to a different department. I heard through the grapevine that she's still angry about the whole situation, and I can't blame her. People have stopped whispering about her, at least, but I know she's still hurt. As for the project, I stepped down from it. I told my boss I didn't deserve the opportunity, and they reassigned me to smaller accounts instead. It's not much, but it's a start. I wish I could end this update with a happy resolution, but life isn't always that simple. Zoe's still not speaking to me, and I don't know if she ever will, but I've learned a lot from this. About myself, about the kind of person I don't want to be, and about how easily you can lose everything when you let fear and insecurity take over. If there's one thing I'd say to anyone reading this, it's this: don't let your own fears ruin the people you care about. It's not worth it. So, yeah. That's where things stand. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm trying to be better. And maybe someday, Zoe and I will find a way to rebuild what we lost. Until then, I'll keep trying to make things right, even if it's just for my own conscience. Thanks for listening, and for all the tough love. I needed it.